Hello guys, it's me, Greed here. I want to talk about Moira today, and I think the vast majority of people do not understand how to play this character in the slightest. To be fair, I think the vast majority of people don't really know how to play any of the characters properly, but we'll start with Moira, because I think people play Moira the most wrong out of all of them, and I think a big reason for that is because Blizzard does such a terrible job of communicating what you're actually supposed to do on this hero. In fact, they're so bad at communicating, I would say they even lie to you at some point, because they put her in the support category, and that is not what she is. So let's start with the easiest way to explain it. What Moira can do and cannot do. This should give you a pretty good picture of what she's usually responsible of doing. So Moira, in the support category, as her heal is an AoE sustain heal that is attached to a resource meter. Generally speaking, this is only really applicable or useful in a scenario like a deathball comp, because you're going to be mass sustaining a large group of people. You want to be min-maxing your heal as much as possible by hitting as many targets as possible to add the most sustain. She doesn't have any burst healing at all, so she's not super good at keeping people alive, especially individual people alive, so she needs to be keeping a group alive at the same time, and she needs to have another support with her to actually remedy the fact that she has no burst. So the only time where her healing is even remotely useful is in a relatively niche comp that hasn't worked in like 5 years, and she kind of relies on another support to even make that a viable option in the first place. So her heal is bordering on completely fucking useless. Now, a lot of people are going to look at the scoreboard when they're playing Moira and they go, but guys, I've got 22,000 healing in 15 minutes, guys. I'm doing so much healing. It's lying to you. It's lying to you. You're healing 4 other players at the exact same time, and your heal is generally not that useful because it's not burst. So you're basically just healing the exact same amount as they're doing damage, so their health bar is not moving, so you're not changing them out, you're not pushing them out of a breakpoint zone, so it's actually not useful. The number on the scoreboard is not a useful number to be paying attention to. So basically, Moira's actual heal output is bordering on completely fucking useless, which means that she's basically only got damage left. Now, the thing is not only does she kind of only have damage left because her healing output is so strange and bad, it's also extremely good. Moira's damage output is really viable and really useful because it's got 20 meter, it's a beam with 20 meter range that does 65 damage per second and does not have an ammo attached to it. There's no ammo. You can just hold it down forever, which is extremely useful because you have no downtime with your damage. You just keep going forever, and it's also really easy to land because I think her hitbox on the beam is the same size as Zarya's, so you end up you can just output shitloads of damage on Moira. It's really useful. Now, another thing about Moira that's extremely useful is that she's the only support in the game, in my opinion, the only support in the game. Maybe there are arguments for other supports, but I think Moira does it best, where she is the only support in the game that I genuinely believe never, ever needs peel if she plays well. There is no other support in the game that can sustain themselves to the degree that a Moira can with her heal orbs and her fade and everything like that. It's incredibly useful. For example, if you've got an Ana on your team and the Ana's getting dove, she can only sustain herself for so long. A BAP can only sustain themselves so long, Break can only sustain themselves so long, so something like that, right? Moira can kind of just stay alive forever as long as she's playing well. It's really, really difficult to die on Moira if you're playing really quite well. So there you go. Boom, super useful. And that's a utility. Survivability is a really good utility because it means that people don't have to go back and peel for you. For example, like I said with the Ana, people are going to have to go back and give the Ana resources to keep her up. With the Moira, you can just keep going and ignoring what's happening because in a lot of cases, it's actually useful for the Moira to be getting dove because the Moira is absorbing time and resources off the enemy team. So that's the first thing. Moira is really good at wasting the time of the enemy and is really good at distracting the enemy, so that's, generally speaking, one of the main things you're going to be doing. What's the most effective way to distract the enemy? It's to be in their backline, which makes Moira one of the best flanking heroes in the game. I know, it's bizarre, but that's just how the character works. Some gold player is probably like mind blown that this character that's supposedly a support hero, which is a lie, is actually a flank DPS, which is very silly. I'll explain it the easiest way possible. If we are diving the backline as a Moira, or flanking the backline as a Moira, let's say we're fighting an Ana, for example. When we're fighting that Ana, multiple things are happening apart from just our 1v1 with the Ana. The Ana's going to be fighting us, which means if she's shooting at us, she's not healing her tank, she's not healing her DPS, she's not throwing nades at the enemy team or our team, she's not trying to sleep someone on our team. Generally speaking, she's going to be giving all of those things to us, which we absolutely love as a Moira, because we love burning resources as much as possible. So the Ana's going to be giving you as much attention as she can to try and keep you off her. And generally speaking, that's all you need to do. If you manage to kill her, that's insanely useful as well. That's a lot of value. But you don't even need to kill things on Moira to be useful. As long as they're giving you attention, you're actually winning in the end, because the supports that could be, you know, outputting resources to their team are distracted on you. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, it's your time for their time, though. If they're not healing their team, you're not healing your team, which is true. However, if you're doing something like killing an Ana is almost always going to be more useful in a team fight than a Moira is. Therefore, her time is more valuable than your time in a Moira. Therefore, it's actually a win for the Moira, because it means that the Ana's not, obviously, giving resources to her team, which is incredibly useful. Now, another thing is, when that's happening, if an enemy team isn't receiving those resources, like an Ana isn't able to output heals onto the front line, that means the front line is going to be at a resource disadvantage because they're not getting the stuff from the Ana, which means they either have to back up all the way or fight and die because they're not getting what they need. So when you're fighting the Ana, you're doing a lot more than just fighting an Ana. You're creating a lot of space because you're denying resources away from the enemy front line when you're flanking like that. So, in conclusion, the reason people don't really actually understand how to play Moira is because the game completely fucking lies to you about what you actually should be doing on the hero. The hero is incredibly good at taking off angles and flanking and doing shitloads of damage and dueling the backline, stealing resources away from the enemy team, forcing DPS out of angles, that kind of thing. And she's not very good at healing, but she's in the support category, and everyone likes to think, well, look at how much healing output you're getting. So it's a mix of the scoreboard, and it's a mix of her being in the support category. Now, obviously, she's a healer. She outputs heal. She's going to be in the support category, obviously. But I think this is my main complaint for why Moira is such a horribly designed character. She is the most blatantly, wrongly placed hero I've ever seen. Putting her in the support category when 90% of her playstyle is flanking like Tracer is just obscene, because then it means people don't get it. They're going to load in as a support, they're going to think, oh, I need to support my team, and they're going to go, well, how do supports support? Well, they usually give their team utility, and they're going to go, well, Moira doesn't really have utility, which is, again, wrong, but Moira doesn't really have that much utility, so I guess I'm going to heal everyone. And they just heal all day, and they're going to go, I can't win a game healing on this character. And it's like, yeah, obviously, because every other support in the game could also heal, just like Moira can, but they're better at healing than Moira can. The main advantage Moira has over other characters is her ludicrously powerful flanking ability, because you're mixing relatively good damage with high survivability, high mobility, and high solo play potential, which allows her to be a complete fucking monster in the enemy backline. And when you watch really high level Moira players, you'd be watching them basically playing as ball all game, where they're just like, I'm tickling Ana, and then Ana turns around like, hey, and they run away. And then Moira's like, the Ana's like, okay, I'm gonna heal my team, and then Moira's like, yeah, and they'll run back in and start killing Ana, and Ana will start shooting at them, and then Moira's like, hey, and they'll run away again. And you're just like, and you're like, you're watching this, and you're like, this is a fucking support character, right? I need an explanation as to why Blizzard decided to design a hero like this. Now, obviously, I'm pretty sure their idea wasn't that Moira was going to be some, like, ridiculously good flank character or something, like how she turned out to be. But surely after, like, people learn how to play this, you would eventually go, yeah, actually, this design's fucking horrible. This is a support character where her only viable playstyle, not even just, like, her best playstyle, her only viable playstyle is to flank as a support character. Is that not ridiculous? I might be the one that's confused here, but I think, to me personally, I don't really understand Moira's design. I don't know why they've made her like this. I don't know why they've reinforced her playstyle like this by not reworking her. I do not understand the thought process behind let's make a support character where the only way they can get any value whatsoever is to do the quintessential opposite of what you would expect a support hero to do. It just doesn't make sense. And it makes complete sense to me as to why people would be confused on how to play Moira. Because they're going to pick a support hero and they're going to go, yeah, I think I should support my team. And they don't realize that supporting your team on Moira is not about healing at all. It's about permanently doing damage all day, which I think is just very bizarre. So, in summary, Moira, the way you play Moira correctly is by permanently flanking and permanently off-angling to force out as many resources from the enemy team as possible. Once those resources are forced out, you can then return to your team safely if you wish, and then sustain them in the heal up until you find another opportunity to go and flank and take more resources from the enemy team, basically making you a very squishy wrecking ball, which is very bizarre. But that's how you play the character. So when the next time you're going into your ranked game, remember that when you pick Moira, you're actually just picking Wrecking Ball 2. Have fun flanking on this hero. I think regardless of the playstyle you pick on Moira, I'm going to hate you no matter what, because I absolutely despise this hero. I hope you have a great day. Have a good one. Goodbye. I love you. Goodbye. Enjoy flanking on this character. Goodbye.